In this video, we're gonna be looking at the top 8 things to do in Luxor. The first site on our list is Karnak Temple Complex. The Karnak Temple Complex is really vast. It covers an area of around 200 acres, which is roughly equivalent to about 30 American football fields. So definitely prepare to spend at least half a day here. The temple complex is made up of 3 main parts. Now, this museum houses a number of artifacts from all over Egypt, but the majority of them come from the Theban necropolis, which is the area around Luxor and Karnak. One of the most famous items in the museum is the bust of Nefertiti, which was discovered in 1913. This is a series of tombs that were carved into the cliffs along the west bank of the Nile River. The Ramesseum is the mortuary temple of Ramses II. As you probably know, mummies are one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Egypt. And what better place to learn about the process of mummification than in a museum dedicated to it? The Mummification Museum in Luxor houses a number of artifacts related to the mummification process, including tools, equipment, and even actual mummies. You can see how the ancient Egyptians prepared bodies for burial and learn about the beliefs that surrounded death and the afterlife. It is located on the east bank of the Nile River, and it is one of the largest temples in Egypt. Now, this is a relatively new attraction in Luxor, having been opened in 2009. We hope you enjoyed this video and that it has helped you plan your trip to this amazing city. If you have time, we highly recommend checking out some of the other videos on our channel. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video. But it has quickly become one of the most popular, thanks to its stunning views over the city. The park is located on the west bank of the Nile River, and it covers an area of around 74 acres. There are a number of different gardens within the park, as well as a number of Islamic monuments. The centerpiece of the park is the Al-Azhar Mosque, which is one of the most beautiful mosques in all of Egypt. If you're looking for somewhere to relax and take in the stunning views of Luxor, then I highly recommend checking out the Al-Azhar Park. Construction of the temple began around 1250 BC, and it took around 20 years to complete. The temple was built during the height of Ramses II's power, and it was designed to show off his wealth and power. The temple is decorated with scenes from many of Ramses II's battles, as well as his many accomplishments. One of the most famous statues in the temple is the seated statue of Ramses II. It's over 65 feet tall, and it's one of the largest statues in Egypt. They date back to around 4,000 years ago, and they were used to bury wealthy members of society as well as government officials. The tombs are decorated with scenes from Egyptian mythology, and they give us a fascinating glimpse into the beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. Some of the most famous tombs in this area include the tomb of Rekhmire and the tomb of Iret. There are also a number of mummies on display here, including the mummy of a woman believed to be the first wife of Ramses II. If you're interested in learning more about Egyptian history and culture, then I highly recommend visiting this museum. You have the Great Hypostyle Hall with its 130 for massive columns. Unlike many of the other temples in Egypt, which were built in honor of gods or goddesses, this one was built in honor of a human being. Hatshepsut was one of Egypt's most powerful female rulers, and she reigned over the kingdom for over 20 years. The temple was constructed during her reign, and it is considered to be one of the best examples of ancient Egyptian architecture. The temple is situated at the base of a hill, and it consists of 3 main levels. Each level is connected by a ramp, and each one contains a number of different chapels and shrines. Then you also have the sacred lake, which is surrounded by a colonnade, and finally you have the open-air museum, which contains a number of different monuments, including obelisks, statues, and also the famous Luxor obelisk, which was actually transported from here to Paris. Next up, we're heading to the Valley of the Kings. This is probably the most famous site in all of Egypt. The Valley of the Kings is where many of Egypt's most famous pharaohs were buried, including Tutankhamun, Ramses II, Thutmose III, and Seti I. You can visit three main tombs here. You have the tomb of Tutankhamun, the tomb of Ramses II, and then the tomb of Seti I, which is often regarded as the most beautiful. In addition to these three main tombs, there are over 100 other tombs scattered throughout the valley, and many of them are still waiting to be discovered. It really is incredible to think that so much history is hidden beneath our feet. If you're looking for something a bit more unique to do, then why not take a hot air balloon ride over the Valley of the Kings? You'll get some amazing views as you soar above the desert. Just make sure to book with a reputable company. Next up, we're going to look at the Temple of Hathor. Now this temple is dedicated to the goddess Hathor, who was the mother of King Tutankhamun. It is located in the town of Deir el-Medina, which is close to the Valley of the Kings. The construction of this temple began during the reign of King Ramses II, and it was completed around 300 years later by King Nectanebo II. The temple consists of two main areas. The first is the sanctuary, which contains the statue of Hathor. And then the second is the courtyard, which contains a number of different chapels dedicated to various gods and goddesses. Moving on, we're going to look at the Luxor Museum. Another must-see attraction in Luxor is the Temple of Queen Hatshepsut. Next up, we're going to look at the Tomb of the Nobles. Moving on, we're going to look at the Ramesseum. Next up, we're going to look at the Mummification Museum. Finally, we're going to look at the Al-Azhar Park. Now this brings us to the end of our list of the top 8 things to do in Luxor.